you are comfortable with your statement and you feel that it doesn't need to be edited, you're ready really to submit this. So I want to show you how to submit your work. So it's not due for 14 days, 2 weeks. Up here at the top of the screen, you have a button that's in red that says continue to step 3. You still have this button that's red that says assignment not submitted. Continue to step 3. Double click that red, continue to step 3. Scroll down. Under step 2, attached files, you should have one file and that's all. And it should say assignment for week 1. Always double check this before you submit. Under step 3, submit assignment, there's a place that says comments. Don't put a comment there to me, please, because I won't see it until I grade your work. So if there's something you want me to know, email it to me. So like today, you're submitting 14 days before the due date. I wouldn't see that comment until the due date because I don't grade your work. I don't open your work until the due date. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Okay? So you're going to click submit, the red submit assignment button at the bottom of the screen. And it says it's in the process, it's submitting. And now, look, you don't have that red button anymore. It's kind of a mustard yellow or gold. And what does it say? Awaiting assessment. And it says you submitted it on August the 26th. And then if you look at the details, it tells me exactly what time you submitted it. But you know what? It's not telling me that as your instructor. It's just telling you that as a student. I can't see that. So what I always recommend every year, and this is sort of a insurance kind of cover your butt situation, I suggest you make a screenshot of this because it says you've submitted it and it says what time and it shows us that it's got an attachment. Now why do I say that? Because every year there's always somebody that thinks they've submitted and they weren't paying attention and their button was still red. You remember how I kept saying, look at that red button, it says awaiting submission or has not been submitted yet. And they think they've submitted, but you have not submitted until you see that gold or yellow button that says awaiting assessment. Okay? So, you can do a screenshot of that. It's just for yourself. You just store it in your EdTech folder and keep it. You know, one student last class said, I think I'm just going to put them all in one Word document. That's perfect. That's a good idea. Okay? So you can do that if you want to. The reason, now, you know, I had this happen a minute ago. What if you submit and then you scroll down and you look at what you've submitted and you go, oh my goodness, I forgot to finish my statement. Well, look right there at the top of the screen. What does that button say? Withdraw submission. So it allows you to take your work back. Okay? And it tells you these details right there. But if you see something is wrong and you want to pull your work back, you can click withdraw submission. If it's not past the due date, it will work. If it's past the due date, that button will not work. The other if is if I have not clicked on your work and looked at it and started to grade it. So that's why I say I don't touch your work until the due date because I want you to be able to pull your work back should you want to. Okay? So those are the two conditions. Now, if you withdraw your work, then you've got to remember that you want to, revise it, and then you have to resubmit it. And, I've had students argue with me about this and say, I submitted my work, and then I took it back, and then by the time I resubmitted it, it was a minute after the due date. Well, I'm sorry. I have no record that you submitted it before the due date and then you took it back. So be sure to remember to resubmit. Now, a lot of you have just submitted that assignment. Okay? So you've got the first one turned in. Now you're going to repeat something similar with your cover letter and your resume, and you're not seeing that place in LiveText yet because I didn't want you to be confused.